House Bill 2040 passed out of committee on a 9-to-1 vote with a goal to ban bots from buying tickets to public events. This comes after ticketing companies saw the rate of bots used to purchase tickets skyrocket. Those bots buy bulk tickets to public venues and sell them at a significantly higher rate, but are often unusable. Politicians now want to protect the consumer.
The bill originated from an article that I read about Taylor Swift, how this had happened to one of her concerts where, I don't know how to say it, but the fans got fleeced for a lot of money. There was even one lady that said she almost put it on her credit card for like $4,000 or $5,000 to purchase a ticket for her and her daughter to go to Taylor Swift. And so as I read more about it, I learned more about it, and it's just something that Arizona needs to stand up, the legislature needs to stand up and protect Arizonans today.
A StubHub representative spoke out against the bill, citing less competition will inevitably cause greater control of the market for specific companies. He also noted that StubHub has had a positive effect on the state of Arizona, and this bill will only harm that effect and the company as a whole.
In 2023, StubHub brought roughly 100,000 people to Arizona. Customers from all 50 states have used our marketplace to find tickets to events in Arizona. And admittedly, the live event ecosystem is not without challenges, which is why we support the conceptual efforts of House Bill 2040 to improve that ecosystem. However, instead of creating more competition and protecting consumers, House Bill 2040 will only concentrate that control in the hands of teams, venues, artists, primary ticketing companies.
The bill will need to pass through both chambers before it gets to Governor Hobbs' desk. With bipartisan support, legislators are hopeful that it will become a law. In the newsroom, Jack Bartlett, Cronkite News. I'm here with ASU's athletic director, Graham Rossini. Graham, at the end of May, President Michael Crow mentioned that the athletic budget had eliminated all debt moving forward for ASU. How will this benefit them, and how will you grow from this?
Yeah, it's more a matter of how do we resource our students as students first, our student athletes as students first and foremost. And so the investment that President Crow and the university are making are, our students need scholarships, medical, nutrition, et cetera. And these are the investments that the university will make, no different than Cronkite students, WP Carey students, et cetera. And so where we can focus as an athletic department is driving athletically related revenues that we reinvest into athletic outcomes. And so, for example, the money that we make from ticket sales and corporate partnerships and donations, we're reinvesting into our student athlete experience. We're hiring great coaches. We're able to retain them. And so really it's just been a simple way of kind of separating the student from the student athlete.
Meanwhile, the Arizona Coyotes were supposed to have a fighting chance to keep the team alive, as owner Alex Morello anticipated to place a bid on a 110-acre plot of land in North Phoenix. Morello hoped to purchase the land to build a new entertainment district and arena, but those dreams dwindled when the Arizona State Land Department canceled the auction. The auction in North Phoenix was supposed to be super important for hockey fans in State 48, as it could have ultimately rejuvenated the Arizona Coyotes. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman said Coyotes owner Alex Morello has 5 years to secure land and an arena. If that happens, the NHL's Board of Governors would reactivate the franchise. Bettman says that at least 50% of the new arena must be completed at the time of reactivation. Morello initially looked to secure land located on the southwest corner of Scottsdale Road and Thompson Peak Parkway, and the auction required a minimum bid of $68.5 million. However, originally scheduled for June 27th, the Arizona State Land Department canceled the auction. In a press release, the Land Department said they are willing to reschedule the auction if the applicant gets a special use permit. The Arizona Coyotes put out a statement of their own, citing they have worked in good faith with the State Land Department and will be exploring all legal options following what they consider to be a short-sighted decision. In a previous article from Arizona Sports, Morello said he was committed to winning the land auction and building an entertainment district that will not require taxpayer funding, despite pushback from 2 mayors. As of now, there is no timetable for when the auction may be rescheduled or if Morello and his team will apply for a special use permit. Yeah, there's a lot of excitement today for the new 16-school conference. No one as energized as Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark, though. From doubling down on continuing the men's and women's conference tournaments in Kansas City to hosting football media days here in Las Vegas, Yormark is eager to continue the growth of the Big 12. Dillingham said that the Sun Devils brought in a lot of newcomers to help establish this culture and feels much more comfortable with the depth of the offensive line headed into the season. The Big 12 will kick off in late August with ASU's first game on August 31st against Wyoming at Mountain America Stadium. Here in Las Vegas, Jack Bartlett, Cronkite News. Yeah, so far the Cardinals have been putting the pieces together to make a revamped offense. Watching Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. practice today, you can tell they are developing the chemistry needed between a quarterback and wide receiver. The Cardinals' motto this year is team first. Head coach Jonathan Gannon touched on the state of the franchise, saying everyone needs to put the team ahead of themselves. Gannon expects everyone to be selfless, especially his team, and no greater example of this than B.J. Ojulari giving his number 18 to rookie Marvin Harrison Jr., who wore it in college. Or how about Michael Wilson's mentality towards the rookie wide receiver? Wilson and Harrison said they have been practicing at various high schools with Kyler Murray to build chemistry. Gannon says that practice will resume in a couple of weeks. At the Cardinals training facility in Tempe, Jack Bartlett, Cronkite News. From Cuba to seeking asylum in Tucson, Arizona, to here in Kansas City, it's been a long journey for Iowa State's 141-pounder Anthony Echemendia and his journey to becoming an All-American. He simply says it's a blessing.
It makes me so happy to be able to, show all the work I've put in and pay him back for a second chance, because that man right there, along with my high school coach and all the rest of the coaching staff, they helped me.
In 2018, Echemendia was in Guatemala for a wrestling tournament with the Cuban national team when all of a sudden he promptly left the squad in hopes of immigrating to the United States. It took around 20 harrowing days to get to the U.S., traveling through the jungle of Belize and avoiding the Guatemalan police. Since he left Cuba, Echemendia has not seen his parents, but they were blowing up his phone with texts during the NCAA tournament to show their support.
My parents are driving me crazy. They're in Cuba and they're just texting me. My mom, I'm praying for you. I'm like, hey, you need to chill on me. Let me stay focused on the tournament. We talk later.
You know, his father and our assistant coach, Coach Fernando Villascuse, grew up, they were kids together, and so that relationship goes way, way back. So Fernando's been like a father figure ever since Anthony came over to the United States about 4 or 5 years ago.
Echemendia found asylum in Tucson, Arizona, where he wrestled at Sunnyside High School. He says it's the best high school wrestling program in the nation and is grateful for the opportunity afforded by his coaches.
I can't really be humble about this because Coach Leon, man, we have the best program in the country. 30-something state titles as a team. Those guys, man, work really hard. And like I said before, they are so good because they not only care about wrestling, they care about you as a person, and that's why they do so well. Besides, they're just extremely good coaches and athletes.
As a redshirt junior, Echemendia will have the chance to repeat as an All-American and get a chance at a national championship once again. Here in Kansas City, Jack Bartlett, Cronkite News. The Pac-12 baseball tournament officially marked the end of an era for the Conference of Champions as we know it. Something that players and coaches will miss dearly, especially for Arizona infielder Tommy Splain, whose walk-off winning hit gave the Wildcats the tournament victory.
It means everything. I grew up an Arizona fan, diehard Pac-12 fan, so this is a really big one for Arizona.
Though the tournament was just in its third year, the Pac-12 Baseball Conference has a long history, with 7 schools combining for 29 national championships, which is twice as many titles as the SEC, the second-place conference.
This conference has been a staple for a lot of years and brought home a lot of national championships and produced a ungodly number of major league players and draft picks, and to see that dissolve is saddening, I guess. In a lot of ways, it's been a very fun, competitive, rival-filled conference for a long time.
ASU head coach Willie Bloomquist, along with Arizona head coach Chip Hale, are 2 of the 4 coaches in the Pac-12 who have coached the teams they played for. Hale ends his time becoming the first Pac-12 Coach of the Year
to have previously earned the Player of the Year award back in 1987.
It is a special honor for me. Obviously, I think it's a staff honor, but to be the Player of the Year in 1987, co-player with Torey Lovello, was very special to me at that time. And now to know, I had no idea until yesterday that's the case. It's a great honor, and it's sad that this conference is going away.
For fans, it was more than just a conference. It was a place of community, family, and a place to cheer on your favorite schools. While Arizona was eliminated from the tournament, there are still Pac-12 members who are moving on to the Super Regionals. Oregon beat UC Santa Barbara by a final score of 3-0 to win the Santa Barbara Regional. Oregon State currently leads UC Irvine by a score of 6-4. I'm Jack Bartlett with Cronkite News. A new era began today in Tucson with the hiring of the first female athletic director in the history of the University of Arizona. Desiree Reed-Francois comes from the University of Missouri, and as an alumna and proven leader, President Robbins says she's the perfect fit to take over during financial crises.
She has spearheaded change in just 3 short years across all metrics, including on-field performance, academics, fundraising, branding, and innovative initiatives to enhance the student athletic experience.
I'm reminded of a time in my life that solidified my connection to this university. On September 10th of 1994, my brother experienced a life-altering accident. It was my first year in law school here in Tucson, and amidst the chaos and uncertainty, the University of Arizona extended a compassionate hand.
About a month ago, Reed-Francois oversaw a $62 million donation to Missouri's athletic department and joins an athletic department that currently sits in a deficit of $30 million. She's the perfect fit to solve the school's problem. As she stated, she loves fundraising.
I love fundraising because you get a chance to be able to meet people where they are, hear their stories, and everybody has this incredible story and incredible memories.
Reed-Francois will catch a flight back to Columbia, Missouri to attend her son's basketball game at Mizzou Arena tonight, but will begin her new chapter on March 3rd. In Tucson, Jack Bartlett, Cronkite News. In February, right-handed pitcher John Schreiber arrived in Surprise, Arizona for Royals spring training after being traded from the Boston Red Sox. It marks the first time in his career the 29-year-old is in Arizona for spring training.
It's been really nice. The weather's been perfect since being down here. Travel's pretty easy, not too much traffic. But yeah, I'm loving it down here so far. Fresh from the Grapefruit League in Florida, Schreiber is enjoying the change of scenery and weather. He says his teammates have made this adjustment period easier by being welcoming, and he is reunited with his former Red Sox teammate, pitcher Josh Taylor.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a guy that's willing to take the ball anytime, and he'll go out there and pitch with everything he's got. So I think he's a good addition to the bullpen.
The veteran bullpen arm is just the most recent of several offseason moves made by the Royals front office. They are confident that he raises the trajectory of the 2024 season for the franchise.
It's very exciting. I mean, I've seen John quite a bit when he was with Boston. He's pitched in high leverage. He's a competitor. He's a bulldog, those kinds of things. His stuff really plays. I think it's just adding another quality major league pitcher to our bullpen and raising our expectations. What was supposed to be a rebuild period for the Royals changed into a more aggressive approach to winning by signing several big names to the squad this offseason. Schreiber not only adds to that excitement, but also adds an element of talent and leadership to the bullpen, which has the Royals striving for a divisional title and more. In Surprise, Jack Bartlett, Cronkite News. The U.S. Golf Association held one of its amateur golf qualifying events right here in Arizona. 78 amateur golfers from the U.S., Canada, and even Thailand teed off for a chance to compete for a spot in the 124th Amateur Golf Championship. The event was held at the Desert Highlands Golf Club in Scottsdale, Arizona. Out of the 78 golfers that competed, 8 golfers qualified for the playoffs and 2 qualified as alternates. Local Arizona golfer Kurt Watkins is one of the 8 qualifiers that will represent Arizona and is excited by what the presence of the USGA can do for Arizona. Onto the professional level, the Phoenix Mercury needed double overtime to beat the Dallas Wings 97-90 on Sunday. Phoenix has won back-to-back games and 3 of their last 4 following a 4-game losing streak.
The Mercury will look to continue their winning streak with a stretch of home games. First, they will face the Las Vegas Aces, followed by the Seattle Storm, and they will finish the stretch with a game against the New York Liberty. The team is currently 6-6 and 4th place in the Western Conference. Yeah, that's right, Rachel. Folks across the state are preparing for massive amounts of rain over the next few days. In fact, the southern part of the Sunshine State could see up to 10 inches of rain or more over the next few days. It's pretty dry so far, as we can see in this video from Hollywood Beach, but the major rain is expected to begin Tuesday and last through the weekend. The rain comes at just the right time because parts of South Florida have been under moderate to severe drought. In Washington, D.C., pro-choice groups took to the Supreme Court to protest the decision that took away the constitutional right to abortion. The Supreme Court decision in 2022 reverberated around the country, forcing states like Arizona to decide for themselves if they want to make abortion legal. Outside the courthouse, there were shouts of anger, calling for the rights of women to choose, but for every pro-abortion sign, there was an anti-abortion sign as well, as counter-protesters made their voices heard. With college football in the offseason, Arizona State staff are still working hard off the field to recruit strongly and make the team more competitive on the gridiron. The 2026 football recruiting class opened on Saturday, and head coach Kenny Dillingham has already talked about plans to maximize the time available in order to land the best talent possible. ASU will look to bolster their roster to give them the best possible chance of success in the Big 12.